and is currently settled in Madrid. Before Tredco, he had worked as Senior Vice President of Food Business at Auchan France and as Managing Director at Auchan Trading, Shanghai. He moved to India in 2006 to start Tredco India, where he did consulting for large Indian resellers. So please welcome Mr. Bhaiwan.
There are so many things to say about my experience in India or about doing business in India. Everybody knows about Indian economic growth and market potential, but is it so easy to enter this market and do business in India, and is it the right moment to do it? That's what I will talk about during this time. Indian firms are increasingly global and sometimes world-class. You know, of course, ArcelorMittal, Tata Motors, Bharti Airtel, and there are so many examples of Indian companies who are buying European or foreign companies at this moment. And now we can find absolutely huge and very powerful conglomerates in India, such as Tata, Wadia, Mittal, Reliance, APG, Bharti, ITC, and so on. India, by contrast, is driven by 45 million entrepreneurs. Indian firms export a lot of services, but their primary focus is on the needs of domestic consumers. Indian shoppers demand goods that are cheap rather than fancy. This criteria is extremely important. Even in Europe, when price is something very important, I think it's much more important in India for different reasons. To succeed, you must keep your prices ultra low, as I said before, and adapt your product to Indian tastes. It's absolutely important. But many European or Western companies are having problems in India because of not taking the time to study, learn, observe the Indian market, the Indian needs, and the Indian habits. It's extremely important. Other advantage this country has, and in order to launch a business over there, this is a very open-minded country. There is a big opening, and Indians are calling for foreign companies to come and to give and to transmit their expertise and knowledge. In 2009, there was 27.3 billion US of foreign investments against 5.5 in 2005 and 4.4 one year before. It's not easy to find the right partner. It's not easy to have a successful, let's say, business relation with your Indian partner. But if you are able to adapt yourself, your culture, and so on to Indian context, you could get absolutely fruitful and successful relation and business. Another advantage, of course, is the explosion of needs and consumptions in India. Only 9% among 1,000 have a car in India, against 1 per 254 in Malaysia, 477 in Japan, and so on and so on. Of course, in India you will find a lot of two-wheelers, much more than cars. Nevertheless, growth of car business is around 12%, and it's a fantastic example. Mobile phones. Every month, 8 million new mobile phones are sold in India. I don't know sorry, every month. Every month, 8 million of new mobile phones are sold in India. All sales are multiplied, we say multiplied by 2 every year. These are many examples on this construction and the potential of this market. Indian businesses face several bottlenecks on the uneven road to growth. The most obvious of these bottlenecks is lousy infrastructure. This is a real problem. The other worrying bottleneck is a shortage of skills, which is a fantastic chance for you. The workforce may be young and growing, but 40% are illiterate and another 30% failed to complete school. India's best universities, the famous IIT or IIM, the famous one from Ahmedabad, are world class, but there are only 16 of them. Public schools are a mess. India's adult literacy rate is only 60%. China is 93%. So the shortage of skills is wonderful for those who have them. It means for you.
Yes.
So that's a fantastic chance. The lack of skilled workers makes it harder to bring infrastructures up to the mark. Builders, electricians and plumbers are scarce. Instability is another huge worry. About 200 of India's 588 districts are affected by a Maoist insurgency called the Naxalite movement. You have to take it into account. Corruption, of course, famous Indian corruption is another concern. Lots of politicians are crooks, thugs, rabble-rousers, or all three. Corruption is debilitating. Many business people think it is getting worse. That's right, it's a reality, and you must face it if you want to make business in India. It's almost the same in China. I've lived in both countries. I can say that it's almost the same. But anyway, another difficulty we have to face in India is the protectionism. We talked about FDI to some minutes before. Some sectors are closed to FDI. There is a very strong debate at this moment regarding opening FDI to people like Walmart, Tesco, Auchan, Carrefour, and so on. But there is a strong protectionism, strong barriers for importing goods, and huge taxes or fees for importing goods in India.